Welcome to Legacy Coins. And before we dive in, I want you to stop whatever you're doing right now, because what you're about to hear is going to completely change the way you look at the coins sitting in your pocket, your car cup holder, or that dusty jar on your shelf. Think twice before you spend your next penny. It could be this one. We're talking about a coin so deceptively ordinary that billions of people have held it, spent it, and forgotten it forever, never once suspecting that a single version of it has been valued at a jaw-dropping $187 million. Yes, you heard that right. $187 million. For a penny. A single, small, copper-colored 1-cent coin from 1995, minted right here in the United States of America, carrying a tiny letter D beneath the date that most people never even notice. And today, we are going to pull back the curtain on every secret, every story, every stunning detail behind the 1995 D Lincoln Memorial Cent, a coin that looks like everything and yet is unlike anything else in the numismatic world. So stay with us, because later in today's video we're going to be revealing details about other coins in our series that are going to leave your jaw on the floor. Coins with stories so unbelievable, so loaded with mystery and value, that you will not want to blink. We're not revealing those values just yet, but trust me, what's coming later will make even the most seasoned coin collectors stop in their tracks. So don't go anywhere. Let's begin. The year was 1995. America was buzzing with the energy of a new digital age. The internet was just beginning to creep into everyday households. The economy was riding a wave of optimism. People were carrying cash everywhere, quarters, dimes, nickels, and yes, millions upon millions of pennies. The United States Mint was working at full throttle, producing coins by the billions to keep up with the demands of commerce. The Denver Mint, denoted by that small but significant letter D stamped beneath the date on every coin it produced, was running its presses day and night. In 1995 alone, the Denver Mint struck over 7 billion Lincoln Memorial cents. 7 billion. That number is so enormous it almost sounds meaningless, and that's precisely why what happened next is so extraordinary. Because somewhere in that colossal flood of copper-plated zinc coins, something went wrong. Or depending on how you look at it, something went beautifully, magnificently, and profitably right. Now, let's talk about the Lincoln Memorial Cent itself, because understanding the coin's history is essential to appreciating why certain versions of it are worth millions. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909, and it holds a historic distinction. It was the first regularly circulating U.S. coin to feature the portrait of an actual person. Before that, American coins used symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. But in 1909, to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Mint introduced his portrait on the 1-cent coin, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin originally featured 2 stalks of wheat, earning it the beloved nickname Wheat Penny. Then in 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was redesigned by Frank Gasparo to feature the Lincoln Memorial Building, and that's when the Lincoln Memorial Cent era began. These coins were produced from 1959 all the way through 2008, when a new series of reverse designs was introduced. So when we talk about the 1995 D cent, we're talking about a coin from the final decades of this iconic memorial series, a series that produced hundreds of billions of coins, which makes the rare errors hiding within it all the more thrilling to hunt for. Now here is where the story gets truly electric. Among the billions of 1995 D cents produced, there exists a small and fiercely coveted population of coins that bear what numismatists, that's the fancy word for coin experts, call a doubled die obverse error, or DDO. This is not a printing smudge. This is not wear or damage. A double die error occurs during the die-making process itself, at the very source of coin production. When a hub, the master tool used to impress the design onto a working die, strikes that die more than once with a slight rotational or positional shift, the resulting die carries a doubled image. Every single coin struck from that flawed die then carries that doubling permanently into its surface. And on the 1995 D cent, this doubling shows up in some of the most visible places on the coin, in the lettering of Liberty, in the date numerals, and most dramatically, in Lincoln's eye. When you look at a genuine 1995 D Doubled Die Obverse cent under proper magnification, Lincoln appears to have a ghostly second set of features, like the die tried to tell two stories at once. And collectors go absolutely wild for it. But why does this particular error on this particular coin carry such an astronomical value? The answer lies in the intersection of rarity, condition, and collector passion. The number of authentic 1995 DDO cents that have been certified by top grading services like PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, is extremely limited. And among those certified coins, only a tiny fraction exist in the highest possible grades. Mint State 67, Mint State 68, coins that left the Denver Mint in essentially perfect condition and somehow survived decades without a single significant mark, scratch, or imperfection. A coin like that, in a grade that high, with an error that dramatic, in a year that produced one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cent varieties. That is the kind of coin that makes auction rooms go silent before they explode into bidding wars. And now imagine you are a coin dealer rummaging through an estate sale. You open a tin box that hasn't been touched in 30 years. Inside, wrapped in an old cloth, is a roll of 1995 pennies. You crack it open. Most of them are ordinary. But one has that unmistakable doubling around the date, around the letters, around Lincoln's eye. Your hands start to shake, because you know that what you're holding is not just a penny. It's a piece of American minting history that could change your life. Stories like this are not folklore. They are the living reality of numismatics, and they happen more often than most people realize. Coins with extraordinary value turn up at garage sales, in piggy banks, in forgotten coffee cans buried in garages. The 1995 D is one of the most actively hunted coins in modern American numismatics precisely because people know it exists and they know it circulated. There are examples of this coin that spent years in pocket change before someone finally really looked, and recognized what they had. Now, the question you're probably asking yourself right now is, how do I know if I have one? The answer is careful examination. First, look at the date. The numbers 1, 9, 9, and 5 should appear to have a subtle doubling, a kind of shadow trailing behind the primary numerals. Then look at the word Liberty on the obverse. Again, a faint but distinct secondary image will be visible. And finally, look at Lincoln's eye under a loupe or magnifying glass. The doubling there, on the finest known specimens, is dramatic and undeniable. But here's the crucial warning that every coin hunter needs to hear. Do not clean your coins. The moment you rub, polish, or clean a coin, you destroy its surface, strip its natural patina, and send its grade, and its value, crashing. A coin worth thousands can become worthless from a single cleaning. Handle only by the edges, store in proper holders, and if you believe you've found something significant, take it immediately to a certified grading service. The story of the 1995 D Lincoln cent is more than a story about money. It's a story about what happens when human imperfection and industrial scale collide, when a tiny error in a die, repeated across thousands of strikes, creates something that time and collectors transform into legend. Every single day, people across America are sorting through change, checking coin rolls from the bank, digging through old collections, and every single day, there's a chance that a 1995 D cent with a doubled die is sitting somewhere, unnoticed and unappreciated, waiting for the right pair of eyes. And if those eyes belong to you, if you are the person who finally spots that ghostly doubling around Lincoln's portrait, then what started as a penny becomes something worth more than most people earn in several lifetimes. That is the magic of rare coins. That is the legacy of the 1995 D. And if you thought this coin story was something extraordinary, just wait, because next, we're going to be talking about coins that are going to absolutely shatter everything you thought you knew about the value hiding in plain sight. We can't tell you the numbers just yet, but I promise you, the coins coming up in this series are so rare, so historically charged, and so astronomically valuable that you will not believe they were ever allowed to enter ordinary circulation. Stay right here. You do not want to miss what's coming next on Legacy Coins.